We have some breaking news for you. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. This is a emergency episode, mini episode of Locked On Cubs, as Sammy Sosa is returning to the Cubs organization. Within the last hour here on Thursday afternoon, Sammy Sosa and the Cubs have both released statements. First, from Sosa: I left it all on the field for the Cubs and Cubs fans because I wanted to win and make the fans happy. He goes on to say, there were times I did whatever I could to recover from injuries in an effort to keep my strength up to perform over 162 games. I never broke any laws, but in hindsight, I made mistakes and I apologize. Cubs fans are the best in the world, and I hope the fans, the Cubs, and I can all come together again and move forward. We can't change the past, but the future is bright. In my heart, I have always been a Cub, and I can't wait to see Cubs fans again. Sincerely, Sammy Sosa. 5 minutes later, Cubs owner Tom Ricketts issued this short but impactful statement. We appreciate Sammy releasing his statement and for reaching out. No one played harder or wanted to win more. Nobody's perfect, but we never doubted his passion for the game and the Cubs. It is an understatement to say that Sammy is a fan favorite. We plan on inviting him to the 2025 Cubs convention, and while it is short notice, we hope that he can attend. We are all ready to move forward together. End of statement. Sam, it's been years since Sammy Sosa has been back at Wrigley or the Cubs convention. And apparently for Tom Ricketts, this apology, as Sammy alludes to his mistakes, right? That's what he called it, mistakes. He used the word apologize, but they have come to a resolution. And you can't, my point was always this: you can't tell the Cubs story without Sammy Sosa. And now Sammy Sosa is coming home.
Things just happen in waves in the world. It's like big things or small things like this in sports. And yeah, this is more big news. Some people aren't going to think it is, but I think it's big news. I felt like when we met him, what was it, end of September, at the club 400, the Club 400 event, I felt like I think I told you this after, maybe it was on the show. It felt like that was more than just something. It felt like it was a step. Like the efforts he was putting in there that night, folks. He met so many people, and every single person that he met, he treated like that was the only person there that night. He really did, and it just felt like that to me. They always say actions speak louder than words. And that was an action where I told my dad the next day. I was like, I think he really wants to come back. Like,
Yep. That was the beginning.
And I don't know, what, maybe there was another thing, but it just felt like that was it. And so this news, I found out about it. We found out about it a little bit this morning. That was a possibility. Shout out to Kyle. And I wasn't surprised at all. So,
yeah.
It's fun. I'm really excited. I mean, Cubs Con, this has got to be one of the biggest Cubs Cons of all time now. Kyle, if Sosa's there, plus introducing a superstar.
Kyle Tucker, yeah.
Yeah, so, you might as well rename it the Tucker Sosa Convention. Maybe Sosa can show him how to do the hop or something.
And when we got tipped off from this, from Kyle, the setup man, I made sure our tickets were purchased. So
yeah,
we have our passes for Cubs convention. I'm so excited. And again, it's not confirmed that Sammy's going yet, but it seems like it's trending that way. And yeah, I wrote the next morning, Sam, after the Club 400 event. I said, Sammy Sosa was great last night. Fun event at Club 400. Sammy sounded optimistic about returning to Cubs organization.
Yeah, he did.
And that's true. He met with everybody. He said everyone's. He addressed everybody by name.
No,
this is an amazing day. I'm glad we're here. It's nice. It's nice
maybe he'll come on the show.
I would love to have him on the show, even if it was 10 minutes.
I mean, we kind of pitched it to him when we met him, and he just was so. It sounded like his expression was shocked that we even had a show.
Well, I will not be surprised if he does a media push before the convention. I will not.
Yeah, well, this is a good place to start.
I know. You're
Uh,
right.
I'm happy, man. I mean, yeah, I think you said it perfectly. I don't think there's anything for me to add. You can't tell the Cubs story without Sammy Sosa. That's beautifully put. And
Can I
it's like,
give you his numbers when you're ready?
well, you don't have to give them to me, but you can give them to the audience. I know them.
13 years with the Cubs,
Yeah.
545 home runs,
Mm-hmm.
7 All-Star games, 6 Silver Sluggers, 1 MVP.
And he finished second in MVP voting in 2001 and actually had a better year in 01 than he did in 98.
Sam, we would run to the TV. He's the reason why we went to Wrigley. Much less watch games on TV. It's why we went to the park.
I think I saw Sammy Sosa hit like 25 homers in my life live. Because this is when my dad and my mom and we had season tickets. So we would go, we had season tickets pretty much every Friday home game. Back then, I think they were 2:20 Central Time, if I remember correctly, not 1:20. People don't realize that.
At least on Fridays they were.
Yeah, on Fridays. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
on Fridays.
yeah.
Right. I'm right on that, right?
Yes. No,
Okay.
you're right.
So, and it was 2:20 because I remember, and we would go and
probably changed about 10 years ago.
Yeah, and he, and he would just hit, a homer like every time. And it was like it got to be like commonplace. And I remember one game, I think it was against the Brewers. I was there where he hit 3.
And that's so fun.
I've never seen another guy ever hit 3 homers in a game
so
live.
Cubs convention in January, but then in April, May, or June, double down. Let's get him in the park, do the first pitch, do the 7th inning stretch, and whatever else that they could do to keep helping this relationship and really helping the fans and doing it for the fans. Sammy clearly cares about the fans. He used the word apologize, and 5 minutes later, Ricketts has a statement ready.
Yeah.
Life's
short,
there was
man.
things behind the scenes, but yeah, they came together.
Life's short. Life's short, and
yeah, no, preach about it.
And this like, did Sammy Sosa make mistakes? Sure, he did. No. And I think he's starting to really acknowledge them. But do those mistakes outweigh the memories that were made? And has he been punished enough for those mistakes? The answer to the first question I would say would be no, and the second question I would say would be yes. And so I think it's time, and I'm happy. I'm happy, and I know at the Cubs Con, when people are saying Sammy, it's not going to be for me. So,
well, and he is the source.
That's my dream, by the way.
He's the source of many Cubs fans' fandom.
Sure.
A single player, and this is just fantastic.
And a lot of money that went into that stadium and people's pockets were because of on his shoulders.
Cubs convention starts Friday, January 17th. We're going to have more information on that next week, as we do plan to do a official or unofficial meetup. Final thing, Sam, I want to share a text from my dad, who's always living in the present. This is the beginning of something special for this organization and team leading up to 2025. Now go get a third baseman, starting pitcher, and closer.
Let's do it. Let's go win a division.
True.
Let's go win a division.
The Cubs year.
Let's go win a division and have Sosa throw out the first pitch at Wrigley in the DS.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we came on an emergency episode. Sammy Sosa is back with the Cubs. Any final words?
No.
Fantastic. Well, he's Sam Olver. I'm Matt Cozy. This is a special Sammy Sosa's returning edition of Locked On Cubs.